Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today I've got a little bit of an interesting story and some views that I want to share with you. I'm not going to be talking too much about orchids today, but I just wanted to share some thoughts based on what's been going on here for the past couple of weeks. And if you know and you follow me, I think you remember that a short time ago, about a week and a half ago, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago, Hurricane Milton came through southwest Florida. I wasn't here for the hurricane, but returned to my home here a few days afterwards, and I'm lucky that there was not too much damage, and I'm lucky that we had power and actually have internet, which is just a luxury when you when you think about it. The reason that I'm sharing this with you is because there are others and there are other places that weren't as lucky. There have been some changes that have happened here. So I think I shared with you the bougainvillea that I had growing on the top of my shed that fell over, that knocked over a bunch of orchids that I still haven't found homes for. And these were just some dendrobiums that got knocked off the shelves and displaced from trees. A lot of the orchids in my collection. There's some leaf damage. I went and sprayed today with some fungicide, with a mix of different fungicides, because I think what happens is you get so much wind that comes through, you get abrasion of the really thick orchid leaves, and the thin ones are just really toasted. The thin orchid leaves from the catasetums, they're just really, and some of the oncidiums, they're just really in bad shape. But even the dendrobiums, there's a lot of leaf yellowing because of the wind damage from the hurricane. We're about a mile from the Gulf, which is that way, and the reason that I'm sharing that I wanted to share some thoughts with you is because I went and visited the beach in the beach area a couple of days ago, and it was a little depressing and really discouraging to see what the hurricane did to the beachfront park that I volunteer in. And when I say volunteer, I do a lot of the plant work there. I work with the natives that are in the park. I'm a volunteer there, and I also put orchids in the trees of the park. That's one of the main things that I do. Native orchids, native plants. That's what I do there. And I was given permission to look through, to enter. The park is currently closed, and I was given permission to enter the park, and I was again shocked to see the amount of damage and what happened at the park, just because of, I think, because of the previous damage from the hurricanes. A lot of the vegetation, the understory vegetation, was removed. It was cleaned up. It was beat up pretty bad, and the idea was just to remove that. And what happened as a result, and then all the sand was sifted and put back out on the beach. It was beautiful. The plants were going back. The railroad vine was holding things down. There was even sea oats that was coming up in this on the beach, and so it was starting to return to normal until Milton came through. And what I saw, and again was disappointing, was the amount of sand that was deposited in the parking lots and on the main road that goes through this beachfront park. And so when I looked in there, I didn't know how bad the damage was going to be, but I went to the park, and again I got permission. It's closed. I got permission to go in, and it looked like what you get when you have a snow blizzard, when you have 4 to 5 feet of snow and the snow gets plowed off on the side of the road. But in this case, it was sand. So right now what's there is normally there's a 2-lane road going back and forth within the park, and what there is now is a 1-lane road that goes halfway into the park to let the cleanup crews get in there to dig out the sand, to remove the sand from the parking lots and redeposit it on the beach. And so this is some video that I took where you can see what it looks like in there. So this shows the drive, and again, it looks like, if you wouldn't know, well, there's palm trees, so you think, okay, it's not snow, and you look close and you can see that it's actually sand. It's 4 to 5 feet of sand that was deposited on the main road that has been shoveled up and now put on the side of the road, and all this has to be removed and then transported through a front end loader, a large front end loader, and large trucks, and all of this is then trucked back on the beach and then deposited on the beach in these large piles. The next steps, I think, have to be to smooth it out and to hopefully plant some plants that will hold down this sand. But it was just real disappointing, and when I went into the park, I rode my bike into the park because, again, the front gates are closed, and I rode in and went to a certain area that was back in the park that it didn't quite get the surge and the sand issues, and then when I was coming back out, I saw that the road was blocked because of the sand that they had piled up. So I had to climb over the sand at the side of the road in order to get around this new pile of sand that was placed in the road that had been plowed. So this is, again, this is, I wasn't expecting this, because I'm a mile from that property, and I was just lucky to be here and only to have minimal damage. And again, I've talked to some of my neighbors. They had some leaves down and some branches come down. My neighbor on one side had the screen in his pool cage that got blown out. But you look at this, and we were lucky enough to be safe. We were lucky enough so that there was minimal damage. And again, I consider myself to be very lucky in this situation because I didn't have that much damage. On another level, I wanted to take it a little further because I was thinking about this, and I'm lucky. And thankful. Thanksgiving is coming up, but for right now, I'm just lucky, to be here, to be in this situation. I still have my health. I ride my bike. I work out. I exercise. I'm good at that level. I live here in Southwest Florida with these incredible plants that I grow. I'm going into the lab tomorrow. I'm lucky enough to have a lab that I can go to where I am surrounded by millions of small orchids, but yeah, there's still millions of orchids there. I'm lucky that I have this hobby. I'm lucky enough, just looking back at my early life, I was lucky enough to be interested in plants and the plant sciences at a time when plant biotechnology was young and just taking off. I was lucky. My mom just kept on saying through my adult life that I was lucky that I was never in jail. I got in a lot of trouble. I was smart enough not to get caught, but I was lucky enough to be in a situation where I had a lot of fun. I kept out of trouble for the most part. I became a plant scientist in biotechnology, which is what happened to come along at the right time so that I could get in this area, and I was good at it, and I could make a living out of the plant biotechnology area, and I'm still doing that. People still contact me to get advice in the area of plant biotechnology. So I was lucky to be a plant scientist and work my way into the right areas that were popular and that was needed at the time. So a bit of luck with that again. But you know, I was also like the house that I have here. It was before the housing prices went up, so we got this place. What was it, about 15 years ago when prices were low? We happened to be vacationing here and saw in this neighborhood and saw these houses and said, hey, look at this. These are not that expensive, and at the time they weren't. I could never afford this house in this neighborhood. Now the prices have gone up tremendously. But I'm lucky enough to have bought in here and to be here in this great place. I'm lucky right now that this is beautiful weather. It is October. So the weather here is just outstanding. Low humidity, you know, not even close to free. It's still warm here. I mean, it gets up in today, I think it was 86 I saw, gets down into 70 at night. So just beautiful weather, full sunny day. I'm just happy and lucky that I'm here in this situation, in this environment, largely undamaged by Hurricane Milton, and enjoying my current situation. Okay, I'm going to get back to these guys, not for this video, but for the next video. This orchid is, I don't know if you can tell, but this is River Kwai Pink that's right here next to me. And I'm going to do a video on this when it's got a few more flowers that are open. I don't know if you can tell. This thing is just loaded, but there's a few more flowers that are going to be opening here, some more there. And I'm going to wait. I've already showed you the first few flowers on it, but I'm going to wait till there's more flowers before I share this with you in more detail, because this is an impressive plant. I've got more blooms coming in my orchid collection in my backyard. I've got a ton of stuff going on in the laboratory. We're just going to be replating orchids all day tomorrow. It's going to be a great day in the laboratory, and I'm going to be there probably until pretty late in the evening doing orchid stuff all day long. Anyway, I just wanted to share some of these ideas with you and some of my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them. Oh, I'm also lucky. I got one more thing to say. I'm lucky that you guys are watching and that there's an outlet for what I do, and there's enough people watching that it's fun for me to do. Sorry, I forgot. I had to add that in. Anyway, happy to be here. If you like my video today and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, now that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and happy propagating.